Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub. Liverpool keeping watch on two centre-back alternatives to Marc Guéhi. Liverpool are in the centre-back market with Marc Guéhi at the top of their wish list. But two alternative targets have been named as the club keep watch. Guéhi is in the final year of his contract at Crystal Palace, who are holding firm on their valuation of their captain despite running the risk of losing him for free next summer. Reports have suggested the Eagles want a fee close to £50 million for their number 6. But recently the Guardian's Andy Hunter claimed the asking price was closer to £65 million. It is not a figure Liverpool will be eager to match, and thus they will be open to alternatives, having already reduced their centre-back ranks after selling Jarell Quansah. According to Liverpool journalist David Lynch on his Substack, the club have a clear desire to add a young centre-back with room to grow, and Parma's Giovanni Leone and Wolfsburg's Konstantinos Kouliarakis have been watched. If the club are unable to sign the Crystal Palace captain, Lynch explains that they would revert to their preferred profile at centre-back, which the above-mentioned duo fulfill. Leone is only 18 but enjoyed a breakout second half of the year in Serie A, featuring 17 times and scoring once. He already stands at an impressive 6'4" and can be utilized at right-back. Kouliarakis, meanwhile, is 21 and an established senior international with Greece. He played 38 times for Wolfsburg last season and finished with 3 goals and 3 assists. With Kouliarakis having also played at left-back on the odd occasion, they each have some level of versatility that we know appeals to Arne Slot. Having held interest in 20-year-old Dean Huijsen before his switch to Real Madrid, Liverpool's desire for the position is evident if they cannot get Guéhi through the door. It is not an unsurprising profile, as there remains uncertainty over Ibrahima Konate as he enters the final year of his contract. While Joe Gomez is 28 and injury-prone, and Virgil van Dijk is closer to his twilight years. For comparison, Guéhi will turn 25 this month and thus would represent a plug-and-go option for the immediate and long-term future as he gets set to enter his prime years with over 230 senior club and international appearances. Liverpool players who could face Preston as Arne Slot set for pre-season opener. Liverpool will take on Preston North End on Sunday in its first pre-season friendly of the summer, and Arne Slot is likely to use a lot of players in the game at Deepdale. Liverpool returns for its first pre-season friendly of the summer this weekend when it takes on Preston North End tomorrow. And Arne Slot could use plenty of different players. The Reds boss only brought his side back together earlier this week, and it is set to be an emotional occasion given that this will be the first time Liverpool takes to the field since the tragic passing of Diogo Jota. Plans are in place to commemorate the number 20, whose jersey has been retired, before kick-off. In terms of the game itself, there could be a number of new faces involved. Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong, Georgi Mamardashvili and Milos Kerkez have all linked up with their teammates, as has young goalkeeper Armin Pexi. They could all play a part in the game, offering fans a first glimpse of what they can do. And it will be a little wait until Liverpool supporters can see them again, given that the next friendly isn't until the end of the month in Hong Kong. Mamardashvili and Alisson Becker could share minutes in goal. And there are plenty of options across the rest of the Liverpool defense for Slot to choose from. At right-back, Frimpong and Connor Bradley should get a chance. In the center, with Jarell Quansah having been sold, there is only Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate and Joe Gomez remaining, but there are also 3 options at left-back: Kerkez, Andy Robertson and Kostas Tsimikas. Young centre-back Amara Nallo could come into the reckoning to plug the gap.in midfield. There has been no sales just yet. That means that Harvey Elliott could be involved, alongside the likes of Tyler Morton and James McConnell. Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis Mac Allister, Dominic Soboslai and Curtis Jones should all be available, in addition to Wataru Endo and young talent Trey Nyoni. Stefan Bajcetic was injured at the end of the season and underwent surgery. Though it isn't known exactly where he is up to with his recovery, the Spaniard might not feature much this summer, which is a blow to his hopes of re-establishing himself. In attack, Wirtz will be joined by Mohamed Salah, Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, Darwin Nunez and Federico Chiesa. Each of them could play a part, with Rio Ngumaha also hoping to get some minutes. It won't just be new faces on the pitch for Liverpool. Slot has a new assistant coach in Giovanni van Bronckhorst, who has arrived to replace John Heitinga after his move to Ajax. Van Bronckhorst knows what it takes to become a top player at an elite club. He made over 100 league appearances for Barcelona while playing over 40 Premier League games for Arsenal from 2001 to 2004. Now 50. He earned 106 caps for the Netherlands between 1996 and 2010. He also played for Feyenoord and was also its head coach from 2015 to 2019. Darwin Nunez transfer twist as Napoli forced into U-turn on Liverpool striker. Liverpool forward Darwin Nunez struggled for game time under Arne Slot last season, and the Uruguayan has been drawing interest from elsewhere, including Napoli. Napoli has decided to lessen its interest in Liverpool forward Darwin Nunez because he is going to prove too costly this summer, according to reports in Italy. The Serie A champion is instead set to secure the services of Udinese striker Lorenzo Luca, despite Antonio Conte's side looking like a good option for Nunez. It remains to be seen whether other clubs come to the table for the Liverpool number 9, but Sky Italia says Napoli has opted to look elsewhere when it comes to spending its Victor Osimhen money. Nunez signed for Liverpool from Benfica in 2023 but has since struggled to live up to expectations at Anfield. As a result, a move away feels like the best option for all parties as long as his valuation is met. Liverpool agreed to pay up to $115 million £85 million for his services including add-ons and is demanding a substantial fee for him now. There has always been rumblings, however, that Napoli might not be able to afford it. It was expected that Osimhen would move to Galatasaray for a fee not that far off what Liverpool paid for Nunez, which could then have freed up funds for Napoli to spend. But that deal has not gone through yet. AC Milan and Atlanta have both shown an interest in Luca, and so Napoli feels forced into making a decision. And with Liverpool wanting a big fee for Nunez, one deal will be much harder to agree than the other. Luca scored 12 times in Serie A last season. He is available for a much smaller sum of around $40 million, £29 million, which is considerably more affordable for Napoli. Nunez only netted 7 goals for Liverpool last season. And in February, head coach Arne Slot criticized the Uruguayan's work rate. "I helped him by saying you can miss a chance," Slot said in his press conference ahead of facing Newcastle. "I wasn't only hard on him, but for the second time in a row, I wasn't happy with his work effort against Wolves and against Villa. I can't accept if a player doesn't give everything. That is clear. I can accept it once, but twice was a bit too much. That's why I addressed it. If you miss a chance, you need to be fighting for the team. I'm not saying he didn't do that at all, but it wasn't the usual Darwin, the one that is loved by the fans. That is mainly because he always works so hard." Liverpool.com says, "It definitely feels like the right time for Nunez to move on. He has interest from Saudi Arabia too, but Napoli always felt like the most likely destination for him. Moving to Serie A would mean staying in Europe, which was thought to be his preference." Atletico Madrid has been tentatively linked with a move as well, though nothing concrete has emerged aside from Napoli at this stage. Liverpool given harsh reality check over blame for Trent Alexander-Arnold's bitter exit. One former fan favorite at Anfield has blamed Liverpool for Trent Alexander-Arnold's acrimonious departure and understands why the right-back decided to join Real Madrid. Former Liverpool defender Glenn Johnson has criticized the club for not securing Trent Alexander-Arnold to a new contract and allowing him to join Real Madrid. The homegrown talent concluded his 21-year spell with the Reds this summer and moved to Spain following unsuccessful negotiations over a fresh deal. Real's interest in the 26-year-old first emerged in 2024 as they sought a long-term successor to Dani Carvajal. It was officially announced in May that the two-time Premier League winner would leave Anfield. Los Blancos expedited his transfer for approximately $11 million the following month so he could play in the Club World Cup. Despite his Liverpool roots, Alexander-Arnold faced widespread backlash from certain fans over his decision. One video of a supporter incinerating his number 66 shirt went viral, while the player faced jeers from some of his own fans during an encounter with Arsenal in May. But Johnson, who donned the Liverpool jersey 200 times between 2009 and 2015, has placed the blame squarely on the club for letting their star slip through their fingers. And he believes the Reds' mishandling of the situation has now marred Alexander-Arnold's standing with quite a few fans. "It's hard to say," Johnson told the Mirror, via 888 Sport, when asked whether he would have made the same move in Alexander-Arnold's position. "But look, if Madrid come for players, everyone's ears prick up. And Trent's won everything at Liverpool. He's been there many years. I think Liverpool should never have allowed him to have that option. He should have signed a deal 2 years before. And then we don't have this conversation. So you can't blame the player when he hasn't got a contract. What can he do? He hasn't got a contract and he's 4 months away from signing for Real Madrid for free. Every player's going to think, well, look, you should have given me a contract years ago and looked after me. And you haven't. So this is what happens. Liverpool also flirted with the risk of losing both cornerstone figures Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk this summer. However, the Merseyside outfit announced towards the end of last season that both players had signed contract extensions. Reports suggested Liverpool made numerous offers to persuade Alexander-Arnold to extend his stay. And it's understood the best of those would have seen the player rank among the top-paid fullbacks in the sport. However, it seems Real had already stepped up their bid to sign the England mainstay at that point, and by then his head was turned. The lure of playing alongside good mate and fellow Englishman Jude Bellingham in Madrid may have also played a role. Liverpool's infrastructure, recruitment strategy, and knack for maintaining squad harmony have been the envy of many clubs over the past decade. Fenway Sports Group has consistently benefited from smart appointments of managers, board members, and backroom staff, transforming the club back into regular title contenders as a result. However, the situation with Alexander-Arnold and how external influences were allowed to interfere could be seen as one of its least successful cases. And Johnson believes that recognizing the player's value earlier could have prevented one of the most dramatic transfer sagas in recent years. Thanks for watching. Like and comment and subscribe.